Prince Harry's emotional interview appealing for reconciliation with his father, King Charles, has been followed by an extraordinary response from Buckingham Palace. Sources there have told ITV News that, if anything, the two sides are now further apart, with Harry having proven that there is nothing that can be trusted to remain private. They said about his comments about the King's health were in poor taste, and they were contrary to reality, and that his grandmother, the late Queen, would be truly horrified. Here's our royal editor, Chris Shipp.
On Wednesday evening at a palace reception, King Charles shared with the invited guests a message about his own cancer journey, calling it frightening and daunting. It was his most personal reflection yet on his illness. But yesterday, Prince Harry spoke about his father's cancer in a different way.
I don't know how much longer my father has. He won't speak to me because of this security stuff.
Hours after Harry's interview was broadcast, a royal source told ITV News that the prince's remarks were in particularly poor taste and added that they suggest something entirely contrary to the reality. Harry also acknowledged his family are finding it hard to forgive him for sharing personal and private conversations in his memoir Spare. Based on what the Royal Insider told us, he'd be right to make that conclusion. The source said Harry had proved again and again, with his book, his Netflix series, and now another TV interview, that there is nothing that can be trusted to remain private.
I would love reconciliation with my family. There's no point in continuing to fight anymore. As I said, life is precious.
So when Harry said yesterday he would like to reconcile with his family, the response from the royal source was damning. For a son who claims to want a family reconciliation, it is a very curious way to build bridges. The acrimonious departure of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex happened at a time when the late Queen Elizabeth was in failing health. But Harry had always maintained his grandmother supported his decision to leave. In light of his most recent comments, the royal source, speaking on condition of anonymity, said simply, Harry's beloved grandmother, the late Queen, would have been truly horrified by it all.
The Queen was somebody who always did her duty absolutely superbly. I mean, she made a promise at the age of 21 to serve all her life, and she kept that promise for 75 years. So I don't think that she's terribly impressed by people who push off and do nothing.
Despite losing this court case over his security arrangements in the UK, Harry says he is going to write to the Home Secretary. Not content, it seems, to let this issue go, despite taking it all the way to the Court of Appeal and losing.
So, Chris, the palace would not normally provide a reaction like this, but this came quickly and the words are really rather strong.
Yes, they are. You know, Lucy, I think in all the time I've been doing this job, I haven't really seen a reaction from Buckingham Palace quite like this one. And it contrasts quite markedly with its official response yesterday, which was about the court case and that it had been looked at time and again, and the courts have always come to the same conclusion. So you've got to think about why they wanted these kind of words out there today. And that's because of what Harry said in particular about his dad's health. They're used to Harry sharing private information. It's been in Netflix, it's been in his book Spare. They don't like it, but they've seen it before. But talking about his father's cancer and the way that he did, saying, I don't know how long he's got left, I think that really did shock the palace, and that's why they gave such a strong reaction. Surprising as it was, that's what they wanted out there, and it shows you that this reconciliation that Harry talks about isn't going to happen anytime soon.